Now, Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf has officially defected to the APC. Now, he was joined by dozens of state and federal lawmakers as well as local government chairmen. Now, the governor stated his move was for the unity and development of Kano, not personal ambition. And he said that aligning with the national ruling party would attract more federal projects to his state. APC National Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje announced that all party governorship aspirants in Kano have withdrawn to support Governor Yusuf's re-election bid. And the Deputy Senate President Barao Jibrin also pledged his support. Now, this event was notably missing the state's deputy governor and 3 commissioners who all later resigned. Now, all NNPP symbols at the government house have now been replaced with APC insignia. For an analysis of the ongoing political realignment of forces in Kano after Governor Yusuf's defection and the future of NNPP in Kano and Nigeria, a chieftain of the party, Abubakar Yesufu, joins us now to discuss all of these developments and what this means for the party. So thank you for joining us today, sir.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here again.
Great. So, I like my first questions to be pretty simple. What does all of this mean for the NNPP? Where does NNPP go from here?
Well, the party, let me say this here now, is going to be stronger because we are detecting those people that were planted there by rebels, those who are determined to extinguish the party from infancy. And day by day, we are becoming stronger. And don't forget that Kano State, we have almost by INEX registration, we have about 8 million voters. And the leader of NNPP in Kano State is actually not Abba Yusuf, it's actually Dr. Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso. So it has not affected us in any small measure, although we grieved over it when he left. We saw it as a betrayal of trust. Indeed, the leader of the party, Dr. Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso, said it was a betrayal, and not more pretentious. Like many other person would have seen it. Even betrayal is often visited with punishment or consequences. Even in the Bible, when Jesus was betrayed by Judas Iscariot, it was also very obvious. When he was confronted, it has always been there, even in the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 1, verse 30, that his habitation should become desolate, let no man dwell therein. As for his office, let another take. It applies to Abba Yusuf, Abba Gida. But we still have sympathy for him because he actually grew up from the Konkonsia brotherhood or Konkonsia womb. We are sure that he has been misled. The only place where we have a challenge was when he said he was speaking on behalf of the Kano people. He has no mandate to speak on behalf of the Kano people. If he has spoken on behalf of Gaya local government, where he comes from, we even doubt whether he will be able to win any election there. We are very happy that he has been endorsed by Ganduje and some of those renegades that left Konkonsia brotherhood. So I will say the very simple thing that in no small measure next year we are going to meet at Philippi.
Okay, clearly you're not pleased with this. You've likened him to Judas. You've talked about desolation, endorsed by renegades, and you also mentioned a very interesting point in your opening statement that you're detecting people that were planted in NNPP, and that Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso sees this as a betrayal. So when you factor all this in, what are I'm sure you can't say everything, but can you give us an idea of how we might re-strategize the Kwankwasia movement in order to ensure that you don't have a similar experience in the near future?
I would say that not being happy would be too much of a phrase to already use to describe Abba Yusuf, Abba Gida, otherwise known as Abba from house to house. That's the meaning of Gida. When Kwankwaso first heard of his movement towards the central government as APC, he didn't believe. He said this must have been a dream, or maybe he's kind of, mentally not stable. Perhaps he was, recapping the Shakespearean play of being dreaming or being mad all together, So he said we should find out. I went with my mentor, Dr. Buba Galadima, and we came back and reported that was a horse of that color, that it was actually preparing for defecting. And about last week, he summoned enough courage to come and see the leader of the party, and he explained why he was defecting, that he wanted to attract federal projects to Kano and all that. So don't forget that the system that midwifed Gida or Abba Yusuf came from NNPP. One would have expected him to allow the leader of the party to take the lead. As we stand, we have not decided yet on what we are going to do, but in no small measure we are touched, but we are not alarmed.
You're not alarmed, but is there a sense that, to go back to what you mentioned about being Judas, are you nervous that there are more people within NNPP who might also defect as well? Are there more Judases?
No. You see, like my leader, Dr. Musa Rabi Kwankwaso said that, if you betray a cause, if you betray a belief, that has midwifed you, there will be consequences. So we always, even if it's only 10 people remaining, as we speak, people are coming in droves to come and identify with NNPP. So we don't even believe that, the governor's defection has affected us in any way. But like I said, the governor is often very wealthy, but unfortunately, paradoxically enough, wealth has no role to play in Kwankwasia brotherhood. If it were wealth, Dr. Musa Rabi Kwankwaso would not have been a leader because he has no money. What he really has at his disposal is this ideal and ideology. The idea is actually a new Nigeria. The ideal is live and let live. And the ideology, total emancipation of mass humanity to man. So that's what we do. He has no money. So I'm not surprised that Abba Yusuf or Abba Gida decided to go to the federal government, maybe for the purposes of office. And anybody that wants to, we are very, very democratic. We do not want to pursue anybody or whatever, but we are resolute. And nobody in the entire Kano state that will take the leadership quality from Dr. Musa Rabi Kwankwaso. But at the appropriate time, like I told you, we shall meet at Philippi.
Okay, I think you mentioned when you were responding to my question that you're still in the process of trying to figure out what your next steps might be.
Yeah.
And of course, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But I recall that when this was being set up, NNPP, it was supposed to be a breath of fresh air from the typical APC and what we see in PDP and APC, more like a version of a third force. Yeah. Now, if the main person, the governor, has defected, does it show that perhaps it was never, the ideology of the Kwankwasia movement was never really in place? If the governor, the main person, is defecting at this time.
Yeah.
So what does it say about the movement?
Before this defection, we had a lot of, attempts to extinguish the party, so to say. Look at, respectfully, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, who was the running mate to Dr. Musa Rabi Kwankwaso. Dr. Musa Rabi Kwankwaso discovered him from his whatever in Abuja and made him his running mate. Even when Dr. Musa Rabi Kwankwaso became Minister of Defense, he took him along, and he has always been following him. So he's the person that actually pushed, so to say, Dr. Abba Yusuf. So nothing is strange to us. And even if you go backwards a bit, you will discover that even in Dr. Aminu Kano's time, we had this type of, I would not say betrayal, maybe defection. What Abubakar Rimi did to him when he decided to leave PRP, and he identified with the siege in southwest of Nigeria, that is Awolowo, but it did not go any distance. So betrayal or defection has always been very, very typical in Kano, near Nigeria. So we have been seeing this type of thing, and we are ready to confront it, where we are going to confront it.
Can we talk about what might have led to this? Because, for instance, you said that you have a problem with the governor speaking for the people of Kano.
Yeah.
That's what you mentioned earlier. That even if he was going to talk about people in his local government, you don't think he will have that support. There were there's been talk of some relative friction that might have preceded this defection between Governor Yusuf and Kwankwaso over control and decision making making. Did that take place? Might that be a contributing factor to what we've seen play out?
Let me quickly say this here and now. If there's anybody that is democratic in this country, that person is Dr. Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso. Dr. Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso gives you a free hand in anything you do to decide. I do not think that was the vogue, or that was the attraction. Don't forget that we have many governors defecting and all that. This one was coming as the last stride, so to say. So we are not in any way, there's nothing that has engineered or that had motivated Abba Yesufu to defect. I think he wanted to be a member of the big league in quotes. But like I've often said, those whose palm kernels were cracked for them by benevolent spirits should not forget to be humble. Don't forget that it was the same APC we competed with, where in 2023 we defeated them, and it was a very traumatic experience. We're taken to court and it's still ongoing. They even imposed on the people, on Emma that was not desirous in taking over. And little therefore wonders why, this will be manifest, So, but like I said, I spoke with my leader, Dr. Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso, and my mentor, Dr. Buba Galadima, about 2 hours ago before I came to Chambers. They are very in high spirits, and they are not in any way disappointed. Or like they told me, this kind of poaching will not stand the test of time. At the appropriate time, we are going to meet the people of Kano. And indeed, Nigeria. When we say Kano, people here always look at it from a very small perspective. Don't forget that Jigawa used to be part and parcel of Kano. So Dr. Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso, anywhere you have the Talakawas, the very poor, or the wretched of the earth, you will see him there. Somebody that has no money to give to the poor, but yet is financing free education all over the world. Somebody that you should look at. If you look at the frenzy supporters that comes to welcome Dr. Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso wherever he goes, they are organic people. We don't give them money like what is typical in this part of the country. If a candidate is coming, you ask the local government chairman to give out 5,000 per person to bring buses and all that. Musa has no money to share. But people come organically, and the crowd, if you've been able to see them, it's always very frenetic, and they are committed. So they are ready to assure that whosoever has betrayed us, they will fall on their sword when the time comes.
And is there a sense that the crowd support, the popularity that you have at this grassroots level is enough to essentially carry you through to the next election? Is that enough?
We had a demonstration of that only 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 2023, where we bloodied the nose of PDP. They got virtually only 50,000 votes. The same APC that was in charge of the central government led by Buhari, now deceased, also bloodied his nose. So we are not scared, and like I said, we are going to be very resolute, and we are not going to kick too hard. For when the tiger treads softly, it doesn't mean that the tiger is scared. The tiger is only being cautious.
So what does this mean for Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso in terms of his aspirations? We saw him run in 2023. He might run in 2027. Yeah. At this point, losing this, the governor, what does this do to his chances?
Oh yes, we are still, like I said, we are still discussing.
Okay.
And we don't know where we are going to pot, so to say. But we know where we will not go to. You understand? We know where we want to go to. People who decide to, use their ideology as the bedrock of their ideology, so to say, as capitalist vampires. Those who will parade caravan of more than 50 SUVs once they are on the road. They follow us chanting and shouting. They beat by me. I don't think they would like to pause there. But let me say here and now that once we hold our meeting and we're able to detect the political party that aggregates our interest, will definitely put there. Don't forget that, we take time in reaching a decision. When we had this issue of going to Cheltenham in London, it took a while before we eventually settled for that. We were the last that actually visited Cheltenham because we were really waiting for some two disabled members of the Kwankwasia movement from Borno. Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso said, no, we must wait for them and let them come and express their interest whether we are going to go to Chatham House. They eventually came the third day and they expressed their interest that we should go to Chatham House before. Musa is a Democrat and he's not ready to be stampeded into taking any decision. Any decision that does not carry along the people, the Talakawas, he will not be for it.
NNPP chieftain Abubakar Yesufu, thank you very much for joining us on this topic today.